Hey everybody, we're ready for another Sweet 16 game in May Madness. And it'll be a second round Sweet 16 game between the 1971 Pittsburgh Pirates, who defeated the 1993 Toronto Blue Jays in the first round, and the 1983 Baltimore Orioles, who knocked off the 1967 Cardinals in the first round. Starting pitchers for today's game for the Orioles will be Scott McGregor, left-hander, and for the Pirates will be right-hander Doc Ellis. So sit back and relax and enjoy Sweet 16 action here in May Madness. It's the Pirates against the Orioles. Okay, let's meet the starting lineups for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off at second base will be Dave Cash. Batting second and playing center field will be Gene Clines. Batting third and playing right field is Roberto Clemente. Batting cleanup in left field is Willie Stargell. Hitting fifth is first baseman Bob Robertson. Batting sixth, the designated hitter Al Oliver. Batting seventh is catching Manny Sanguillen. Batting eighth at third base is Jose Pagan. And batting ninth at shortstop is Jackie Hernandez. And as we said, on the hill is Doc Ellis. So on the mound for the Orioles, Scott McGregor. In his 1983 season, he was 18-7 with a 3.18 ERA. We're all ready to go. Dave Cash has stepped in the batter's box to get things going here. We are all ready to roll. And it'll be Dave Cash to start things off against Scott McGregor. It's a 5-8. So McGregor against a right-hander, a 5-8 is a fly ball to left field B. So it's one away. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Gene Clines. He was mostly a platoon player. He played against left-handed pitching because he did so well against left-handed pitching. And there you can see his number one column is pretty loaded. So if he gets a 1, he can do some damage. He didn't. He got a 2, so it's a 2-7. 2-7 against lefty. He had some singles here, but he found the ground ball to Todd Cruz at third. So that's simply a 5-3 ground out for out number 2, and that'll bring up Roberto Clemente. Unfortunately for him, the bases are empty with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. It's a 6-10, so we're off McGregor. 6-10 is a fly ball to center field X. The center fielder is Al Bumbry. He's got a defensive rating of 4. And one thing when I noticed when I filled out the ratings for both these teams, they both were wanting defensively. They had a lot of high ratings. So high as in high numbers, not high as in good. So we'll see if that comes back to affect them. So Bumbry's a number 4 rated center fielder. The roll is a 12. That might make it into his error range where it gets him off the hook, and it does. The error range goes to 12. So the error range for Bumbry is only a 6. So he's an E6. So as we look at E6, 3, 4, 5, 11, or 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, or 12, he'll be in trouble. 6 through 10, he'll make the play. So we need a 6 through 10 to make the play on this check. And it's a 12, so he did not make the play. It's going to be a 2-base error. It says E2. And as we look at E2, as you might expect, error, batter safe at second, runner advances 2 bases. So there is nobody on base to advance, but it's simply a 2-base error, E8, on Al Bumbry, and just like clockwork now, that porous fielding is coming into play. But it happened with 2 outs and nobody on, so they might get away with it. But coming up now is left fielder Willie Stargell. It is a lefty-on-lefty matchup, so we'll see if McGregor can do anything with him. The pitch is a 6-6, so we're under McGregor. 6-6 against a lefty. It's a chance for a single here, but it's only 1 star, so even if it's a hit, it won't be a run. 1-13 is that single. Anything else is a line out to Ripken at short. And it is an 18. I'm not going to worry about whether it stays on the clipboard this time. It's an 18, so it's a liner to short to end the inning. And we've played a half an inning here at neutral field, and the score is Pittsburgh nothing, Baltimore coming to bat. Okay, bottom of the first, and we'll meet the Orioles starting lineup. Leading off in center field will be Al Bumbry. He already made that error at the top of the first. Batting second will be Dan Ford, the right fielder. Batting third will be shortstop Cal Ripken. Batting cleanup is first baseman Eddie Murray. Batting fifth in left field is John Lowenstein. Hitting sixth, the designated hitter Ken Singleton. Batting seventh at third base is Todd Cruz. Batting eighth at second base is Rich Dower. And batting ninth and catching is Rick Dempsey. And on the mound is Scott McGregor, the lefty. So Doc Ellis is on the hill for the Pirates here to start their ball game here in the bottom of the first. During the 1971 season, he was 19-9 with a 3.06 ERA, and he was the All-Star Game starter for the National League in 1971. So he'll be starting off against Al Bumry as Al Bumry steps in, and we are ready to go here for the bottom of the first. It is a 1-7. A 1-7 against a right-hander is a pop out to the second baseman. So he pops out to Dave Cash to start the ball game for the Orioles, one away, and that'll bring up Dan Ford, the right fielder. Dan Ford. It is a 6-5, so we're off of Ellis, and that is a strikeout. So Doc Ellis puts the K on Disco Dan, and now there's two away with nobody on for Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken is up, 2 outs, bases empty. It's a 5-8. That's off of Doc Ellis again, and that's a ground ball to shortstop Jackie Hernandez to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first, and after one complete, it's Pittsburgh nothing and Baltimore nothing. Okay, top of the second will be Bob Robertson, the first baseman, to lead things off. He'll be followed by Al Oliver and Manny Sanguillen. Here in the top of the second, no score. Robertson, it's a 6-6. It's under McGregor. 6-6 is a single to center field, so Bob Robertson cracks a leadoff single to try to get something going for the Pirates here in the top of the second. And that'll bring up Al Oliver, the designated hitter. He steps up, lefty on lefty matchup. It's a 3-10. 3-10 against a lefty is a ground ball first base A, so he grounds it to Murray, who kicks it to Ripken and back to Murray for a 3-6-3 double play. Two Hall of Famers turn in the double play there, 3-6-3. Quickly 2 away, and that puts the snuff on any potential rally the Pirates thought they might have. 2 outs, bases empty for Manny Sanguillen. Sanguillen's a 2-6 against a left-hander. Well, he gets a single, so that double play certainly helped the Orioles, but Sanguillen says, why can't I start a 2-out rally? And he can, really. Here's Jose Pagan, the third baseman. He also platooned at third base because Richie Hebner played a lot against right-handers. But against the left-hander, they're going with Pagan because that's what the Pirates did in their World Series. So it's a 4-3. 4-3 against McGregor against a right-hander. 4-3 is a fly ball to right field X. So we need to check Dan Ford. He is number 3 right fielder, which is pretty average. It's a 14, so let's check the defense here. I don't think that's in the error rate, and I think this is going to make it. Yep, the error check is an 8 through 13. He got a 14. So the 14 with the number 3 rating is a fly ball C, and the inning is over. So fly ball to right, and that does it for the Pirates. They pick up a couple of hits, but nothing comes of it. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. And Eddie Murray leads things off here against Doc Ellis. Switch hitter batting left-handed. It's a 2-11. 2-11 against a right-handed pitcher is a ground ball to first. So he grounds it to his counterpart, Bob Robertson, at first base for out number 1. And that brings up John Lowenstein. John Lowenstein. He platooned with Gary Renicky in the outfield quite a bit. So since the right-hander is pitching, it is Lowenstein, not Renicky. 4-6. 4-6 against a lefty is a fly ball to right field. So Clemente makes that play easily. And we go to Ken Singleton, the designated hitter, with 2 outs and the bases empty. Singleton, it's a 3-9. 3-9 against a right-hander is a walk. So Ken Singleton draws a 2-out walk, which is much better than a leadoff walk if you're the Pirates. So there's 2 outs, 1 on for Todd Cruz, the third baseman. 3-9. 3-9 against a right-hander is a strikeout. So Todd Cruz with the whiff. Inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the third. We are still scoreless here at neutral field. And it'll be number 9 hitter Jackie Hernandez. He will start things off against Scott McGregor. It's a 2-9, so a 2-9 against a lefty is a ground ball second base. So he grounds it to Rich Dower over at second base for out number 1. 1 down, and back to the top of the order, Dave Cash. Cash flied to left his first time up. That is a 5-6. 5-6 against a righty. Well, he's got a chance for extra bases here. It's a 1-9 for a double. Anything else is a single. It's a 9 exactly, so it is a double. So it's a 1-out double for Dave Cash as the Pirates try to get something going here in the third. That'll bring up Gene Kleins, and he grounded to third base his first time up. But now he's got Cash in scoring position. It's a 2-8. 2-8 against lefties is a single star. So the star means that Cash will score. Don't even have to check a throw. He will score automatically. And the Pirates now grab a 1-0 lead. Okay, I had a little barking in the background. I had to pause the video. Didn't want to get that in everybody's ear. All right, Gene Kleins got that base hit. And now it'll be Roberto Clemente, the batter. So Roberto Clemente steps up. And that's a 5-9 against a right-hander. 5-9 is a ground ball second base C. So that means the runner will advance on the grounder. So Kleins will get over to second base with 2 outs. As that's a 4-3 ground out for out number 2 for Clemente. But he is in scoring position, and Kleins does run well. He's a 1-17 base runner. He will run well. Stargell the batter. He lined to short his first time up. It's a 5-8. 5-8. He pops it up to Eddie Murray at first base to end the inning. But the Pirates, thanks to the double by Cash and the single by Kleins, take a 1-0 lead, and we go to the bottom of the third. It'll be Rich Dower, Rick Dempsey, and Al Bumry coming up against Doc Ellis. And Dower, a 1-7. 1-7 for Dower is a ground ball to Jackie Hernandez at shortstop. So that's out number 1. Out number 1. Now we got number 9 hitter, Rick Dempsey, who ended up being the MVP of the '83 World Series. So let's see what he can do here. It's a 2-7. 2-7's a split chance, although not a good one. 1-4 for a single. Anything else is a line out to short. It's a 17, so he lines out to Jackie Hernandez for out number 2. And we're back to the top of the order for Al Bumry. Bumry popped up to Dave Cash at second his first time up. This time it's a 1-5. 1-5 is a fly ball to center field, so he flies out to Gene Kleins to end the inning. So even though they had a lot of the results off their own cards, they were not able to do anything with it. So after 3 complete, score is the Pirates 1 and the Orioles 0. And Bob Robertson will step in. He got a base hit his first time up, then was removed on a double play. It's a 5-10 for McGregor. Off McGregor's card, 5-10 is catcher X. Well, Dempsey is a number 1 rated catcher. He's one of the few on there that don't have a bad defensive rating. So he's a number 1 catcher. It's a 20, so 20 is going to be made no matter who the catcher is. 20, number 1 is a foul out. So Bob Robertson pops it up in foul territory. Dempsey takes it in easily, 1 away, and that'll bring up Al Oliver, who hit into said double play his last time up. This time it's a 3-7. 3-7 against a lefty is another split chance, although again not a good one. 1-4 for a single. Anything else is a line out to Dower at second. It's a 6, so he lines out to Dower. Oops, that should be a 4 there, not a 6. My bad. Smudgy there, but it is an L4. So there's 2 away, and that will bring up Manny Sanguillen. 2 out, space is empty for Sanguillen. He singled his first time up. It's a 5-9. 5-9 is a ground ball to second baseman Dower to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, rather uneventful top of the fourth. We go to the bottom of the fourth, still Pirates 1 and the Orioles nothing. And Dan Ford to lead things off against Doc Ellis. Disco Dan. It's a 2-5. 2-5 is a ground ball to shortstop Jackie Hernandez. So 1 away for Jackie. There's 1 away, and that'll bring up Cal Ripken. It is a 3-7 for Cal, and that's a strikeout, unfortunately, for Cal. So again, they're getting a lot of results off the batter cards, but they aren't able to do anything with it. Doc Ellis is beneficiary of all that. That'll bring up Eddie Murray with 2 outs and the bases empty. And Murray again off the batter card, 2-7. 2-7 this time, he'll do something with it. A 1-3 is a double, and anything else is a single. So most likely a single. And it's a single, but it is the first hit of the ball game for the Orioles. Took them to the 4th inning with 2 outs to get it, but they got a 2-out single from Murray. That brings up John Lowenstein. And Lowenstein again off the batter card, 3-9. And a 3-9 is a ground ball second base A, so technically it's a fielder's choice ground out where Cash will go the short way to Hernandez to end the inning. So after 4 complete, still Pirates 1, Orioles nothing. And Jose Pagan, the third baseman, will lead off the 5th. He flied to Dan Ford in right field his first time up. This one's a 6-11 against a righty. This time he's going to try the left fielder Lowenstein, but it's an X, so we got to check Lowenstein. Lowenstein's a 3, which is average left fielder. He rolled an 8, but that puts the outfielder in his error splits. So Lowenstein is an E6. E6, much like Bumry. So he's in the same boat pretty much. So he's got something to work on here as an E6. He has to roll or avoid some of those error ratings here. So let's see what happens. He rolls a 7, so it's an E6, a number 7. He did make the fly ball out. So the fact that he was a left fielder, not a center fielder, was not quite as tasking for him. So he made the play, 1 away. Number 9 hitter Jackie Hernandez steps to the plate. Jackie Hernandez, a 1-8 against a lefty. 1-8 is a ground ball to Ripken at shortstop. So 2 down very quickly. And we're back to the top of the order for Dave Cash. He's 0 for 2. He did reach on that. He's 1 for 2. He doubled and scored. He has doubled and scored. It was Clemente that reached on the error. But Cash, 1 for 2. He doubled and scored. It's a 2-5. 2-5 against a lefty is a ground ball to Ripken again. So Ripken handles the last 2 outs of the inning. Inning's over. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still Pirates 1, Orioles nothing. Ken Singleton steps up. He will lead off the bottom of the 5th against Doc Ellis. Singleton walked his first time up. This is a 4-5. So Ellis against a left-hander. Switch hitter hitting lefty, 4-5. It's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Jackie Hernandez. He is a number 3 rated shortstop. If it goes to his error check, he's a 42, so that's not going to be good for him at all. It's a 18, so we'll see. He might go ahead and make the play without having to do that. I think the 18 is going to help him here. So Hernandez at shortstop is a number 3, and a number 18 is a ground ball A. So fortunately for Hernandez, he was able to not have to go to the error check. And Singleton is out, 6-3 grounder. That'll bring up third baseman Todd Cruz. And Cruz, a 5-12 against Doc Ellis. 5-12 against a righty is a ground ball to first base X. So we have another check. This one on Bob Robertson. He's a number 2 rated first baseman. Whoops, that's a 3. Remember I said I was going to play it where it lied this time and not re-roll these things. So he's a 2 rated first baseman. 2 rated first baseman, a number 3 result. He barely got it, ground ball C, so he made the play. So Bob Robertson made the play, 3 unassisted. And quickly 2 away for second baseman Rich Dower. And Rich Dower steps to the plate. Dower, a 1-3 against a righty. 1-3 is a ground ball to third baseman Pagan, and he makes the play. And just like that, the inning's over. So we've played 5 complete. The score still remains Pittsburgh 1 and Baltimore nothing. And Gene Kleins, the center fielder, is stepping to the plate to lead off the 6th. He had an RBI single his last time up for the only run of the game. This time it's a 6-10 against McGregor. 6-10 is a fly ball center field X, so we're looking at Bumry again, and he made the error last time. Remember, he's a rating number 4. It's a 20, though, so that's going to save him. That high number, he's going to be able to make the play. Center fielder, even though it's a number 4, he made the play. If he was a number 5, it would have been a hit, but 20, that high number, helps him make the play. So in that instance, Bumry was able to corral it for out number 1, and that's Roberto Clemente now up 0 for 2. He did reach on the error. Clemente, it's a 1-7 against a lefty, and that is a base hit. So Clemente with a 1-out single. He runs fairly decently, but he's getting up there in age, and plus his steal rating is an E, so he's not going anywhere. Gonna bring up Willie Stargell. 6-8 against a lefty. 6-8 is a pop-up to Cal Ripken at shortstop. So 2 away. And now it's up to Bob Robertson if the Pirates are to continue here in the 6th. First baseman Bob Robertson, he's 1 for 2 with a single. It's a 2-5. 2-5, he found another single. Single to center field. Clemente, with 2 outs, could take a chance. But do you really want to get thrown out? Because being at third with 2 outs doesn't really help you all that much. He's a 1-14, so you may try it. It's a 1-14, and you subtract 1 for being held, which makes it a 1-13. But you add 2 for the fact that it's 2 outs, so that would bring him back to 1-15. And the center fielder, Bumry, is a +2. That would make it a 1-17, so they're going to try it. And let me double check my calculations here. I believe the 2 outs, you get the extra 2 on the run rating. Let's see here. Maximum combined, parentheses for run involvement. Let's see, I know it says something about 2 outs somewhere or another. Well, let me put it on pause and see if I can't straighten this out. All right, I couldn't see anything on there, so I want to go ahead and play it as a 1-14, I believe. It's a 10, so he made it anyway. So I'm pretty sure he gets a +2 for going from being 2 outs, but I'm not 100% sure. Fortunately, it worked out anyway. So I'll tighten that up and check on that after the game is over, or if we get a more critical play. So now Al Oliver is up. Sorry. Al Oliver is up with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Al Oliver, it's a 4-4 against McGregor. 4-4 is a line out to shortstop. That dot is talking about point of weakness, but he hasn't gotten there yet. So that is a line out to Ripken. And the inning's over. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Score still, Pirates 1, Orioles nothing. And Rick Dempsey, the number 9 hitter, will lead things off. He lined to shortstop his first time up. This is a 5-3 off of Doc Ellis. It's a ground ball pitcher X, so it goes right back to Ellis. He's a number 2 on his pitcher rating. So we'll see what he does here with that. It's a 13, so I think we're going to check his error rating. Oh, no, we're not. Let's see. Yeah, we are. Okay, so his error rating is an E13. Doc Ellis is an E13. So he's got some error possibilities here. 3, 4, 5, 11, or 12, he will make an error. 3, 4, 5, 11, or 12. It's a 5, so that's an error because we said on a E13, a number 5 is an E1, so Doc Ellis boots it. An error E1 to lead off the inning for Rick Dempsey. He's aboard, and now he represents the tying run. Bumry is a B bunter, so they could have him bunt here. That would move him to a C bunter since the defense is expecting it. So they're going to try it, a C bunter. They're going to try to do the sacrifice here. It's a 7, so a C bunter, 7, batter thrown out by first baseman, runners advance. So it's a 3-4 sacrifice for Bumry. And that does move Rick Dempsey into scoring position. He's at second base with 1 out. And that'll bring up Dan Ford with a chance to drive home Dempsey, who doesn't run all that well. It's a 5-4. 5-4 is a ground ball third base X, so that's just going to check Jose Pagan. He is a number 4 rated defender, another one of those poor defenders. It's a 20 though, so that's going to help him. And a 20, and by sacrificing, it probably took the double play out of the equation. But a third baseman, a number 4, and a 20 is a ground ball C. So it says runner advance. It doesn't really make any sense, but I'll go ahead and follow it. Maybe it was a trickler that allowed Dempsey to go across, but logically you wouldn't think a ground ball to third that a runner would advance. But I'm going to honor the chart result on that one. And now Dempsey's at third with 2 outs for Cal Ripken. So being at third, he will score on any base hit or error. It's a 2-9. 2-9 is a ground ball to short. Jackie Hernandez fields it. Throws to Robertson at first, and the threat is over. So we go to the 7th inning with the score. Still Pittsburgh 1 and Baltimore nothing. Both of these teams put up a lot of runs in their first game. Baltimore put up 8, and I believe Pittsburgh put up in double digits. 12, I think it was. Maybe more. Maybe I think it was 15, actually. So the pitchers are having their way today. Here's Manny Sanguillen to lead off. It's a 2-5 against the lefty McGregor, and that is a base hit for Sanguillen. So he leads off with a base hit. Runs pretty well for a catcher, but he's only got a C steal rating, so he's not going to go anywhere. And Pagan, the next batter, has a D bunting rating, so they're not going to have him bunt. They could have him hit and run. He's got a B hit and run rating, so we're going to try it. As a B hit and run rating, we're going to give it a shot here and try a hit and run. See if they can get something going here. It's a 10, so a B hit and run rating with a number 10. Here's the hit and run chart. B10 says pop out to second base. So he pops out, and I'm assuming the runner gets back. It doesn't say anything about the runner being put out. So it is going to simply be a pop-up to second base, and it was such a high pop-up that Sanguillen had time to reverse his tracks and get back to the base. So 1 out. That did not work the way the Pirates wanted. So now it's Jackie Hernandez. It's a 3-7 against a lefty. 3-7's a walk, so that'll move Sanguillen into scoring position with 1 out. Puts runners at first and second for Dave Cash, who had that big double in the third and scored. So he may be a part of something here as well. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-4. 2-4 against a lefty. It is not going to be what he wanted. It's a pop out to short. Since we're not using the ballpark effects, it is simply a pop out to the shortstop for out number 2. And that'll be up to Gene Clines. He did have the RBI single in the third inning, so he's got a chance for another one. Another RBI chance. It is a 2-8. 2-8. And he's done it again. It's a single star. So that means that Sanguillen will come in to score, and Hernandez will motor over to third base. But Gene Clines has done it again with a RBI single to make the score 2-0. And that'll bring up Roberto Clemente. And now the Oriole bullpen is working. Sammy Stewart, the right-hander, is loosening in the bullpen. But right now it's Roberto Clemente with runners still at the corners and 2 outs. Clemente is a 3-4 against a lefty. 3-4 is a good chance for a single. It's 1-15 if he can get it. As long as he can keep it under a 16. He did not. It's a 16. So how do you like that? He lines out to Todd Cruz. He thought he had a single, but Cruz stabbed it to end the inning. But Pittsburgh does get that extra run thanks to a Gene Clines 2-out single. And it's 7th inning stretch time. Getting late. The Pirates 2 and the Orioles nothing. Okay, both pitchers have 7 as their point of weakness. So technically, Scott McGregor was pitching on a point of weakness when Clemente had that line drive, but the result did not have the dot by it, so McGregor got by okay. And now Doc Ellis is going to start his point of weakness, but he's got to give up a combination of 3 hits or walks that are unintentional to begin this point of weakness. But right now he's rolling along pretty good. Here's Eddie Murray. It's a 4-8. 4-8 against a lefty is a pop out to the first baseman, Bob Robertson. So Doc Ellis showing no weakness here. Here's John Lowenstein. Lowenstein's a 4-9 against a lefty. 4-9 is a walk, so that's 1 dash against Ellis. That is a walk. And that'll bring up Ken Singleton. Ken Singleton, the batter. Switch hitter. It's a 1-7 against a righty. 1-7. Oh, it's a chance for a home run and a chance for a double. So this could be interesting. 1-16. He'll tie the ball game. And he does it with a 16. So Ken Singleton, all of a sudden, Doc Ellis running into issues here. And that is a 2-run home run from Ken Singleton. And we have now got a tie ball game at 2. And just like that, the Pirate bullpen is loosening frantically. They're going to have, let's check and see who's in the bullpen for them to warm up here. Looks like it's going to be, who is their bullpen guy here? Well, they don't really have a whole lot of lefties in the bullpen that I can see. They do have Bob Veal and Luke Walker. Neither one of those are standouts. Luke Walker's got an ERA of 7, so well, he did have a 6-0 record, but his ERA was 7. So they're going to bring in or warm up Luke Walker, who was a split between a starter and a reliever. So Luke Walker is loosening in the Pirate bullpen. Their closer, Dave Gisti, is right-handed, but they're not going to bring him in when the score is tied. So Luke Walker is loosening in the Pirate bullpen. Ken Singleton has just homered to tie the game at 2. And here's Todd Cruz. It's a 3-11. 3-11 is a home run for Todd Cruz. So look at that. Back-to-back jacks. And the Orioles now lead it 3-0. And Doc Ellis is now at his point of weakness, as he has definitely given up the 3 hits and walk combination. Luke Walker still warming. Here is Rich Dower. Dower a 2-7. 2-7 for Dower as a pop-up to the third baseman, Pagan, for out number 2. And that'll bring up Rick Dempsey. So they're hoping to get Ellis through this last out of the 7th and then turn it over to the bullpen. So here's Dempsey. It's a 3-7. 3-7 is a strikeout. So Doc Ellis does come back to get out of it, but the Orioles put a 3 spot here in the bottom of the 7th, and they now lead it by the score of 3-2. And McGregor, again, he's at the level where he could get a point of weakness, but he hasn't given up the walk 3-hit combination that we talked about. So he's going to pitch to Willie Stargell at least. Then after Stargell, we may get Sammy Stewart in here to face the righty Bob Robertson. So let's see. McGregor against Stargell. It's a 1-8. And a 1-8 is a strikeout. So McGregor got the strikeout. And I think that's going to do it for McGregor. He's going to vacate with the right-handed hitting Bob Robertson coming up, who's already gotten 2 hits off of him. Joe Altobelli is going to the bullpen because Joe Altobelli was the manager in '83. So Joe Altobelli is going to go out and shake McGregor's hand, signal to the bullpen, and Sammy Stewart will be coming in. Right-hander Sammy Stewart will be coming in, and we'll total up the McGregor outing in just a moment. Okay, we can close the book on McGregor. He pitched 7 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walked 2, struck out only 1, and it happened to be his last batter, Willie Stargell, that he struck out. But now he's turned it over to the bullpen, and also loosening in the Oriole bullpen right now is closer Tippy Martinez, a lefty. So Tippy Martinez is warming up in the bullpen, but right now it's Sammy Stewart in there, righty on righty against Bob Robertson. It is a 5-8. A 5-8 is a fly ball to left field, so it's a fly ball to Lowenstein for out number 2. And just out of curiosity, a 5-8 for McGregor, he would have gotten the out too, so worked out either way. 2 outs, bases empty for Al Oliver. It's a 3-7. A 3-7 for Oliver is a potential base hit. 1 to 15 is a single. So we'll see if he can get that 1 to 15 opportunity. And he does. It's a base hit for Al Oliver, a 2-out single for Oliver. He's a D stealer, so he is not going to go anywhere. But the Pirates might check their bench for a pinch runner. Since Oliver is the DH, they can just substitute a faster runner in there. But they really don't have anybody. Well, Vic Davalillo is a B stealer, but even that's not always the best opportunity. B stealer starts out with a 13. Dempsey's a -3. That would be a 10. And then you subtract 1 from being held, be a 9. It'd be a 1 to 9 opportunity. And I'm not sure they want to take that chance, 1 to 9 with 2 outs. They're going to let Sanguillen hit. Danny Murtaugh is going to let Sanguillen hit here. They don't want to take the chance of having the runner thrown out. Sanguillen, a 4-10. 4-10's a ground ball to short, which is Ripken. There is an X, so we check Ripken. Ripken's a 2-rated shortstop. It's a 13, which might fall in the error range, but I think he's actually surpassed it. Yep, 8 to 12 is a split chance. So 13 with the number 2 is a ground ball B. So the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Score still Orioles 3 and Pirates 2. And Doc Ellis is now out of there. And Luke Walker, the lefty, is in. So Luke Walker. And we'll come back and set the totals on Doc Ellis in a moment. Okay, close the book on Doc Ellis. He went 7 innings, gave up only 3 hits, but 2 of them were homers. So that allowed for the 3 runs. He walked 2 and struck out 4. And lefty Luke Walker is into the ball game. He'll be facing Al Bumbry to start things off the top of the order for the Orioles. It is a 5-2. 5-2, and Dave Gisti is loosening in the Pirate bullpen as well. So he could be coming in the next batter. We'll wait and see. This could be a one batter outing for Luke Walker because he is facing the lefty, but we got righties coming up. So in this case, it's a 5-2 for Luke Walker against a lefty. It's a ground ball to first with an X, so that's Bob Robertson. And Robertson's a 2. And it's a 13. 13, first baseman 2. That's going to go to his error check. And Robertson is an E11. So we're going to be checking an E11 here for first baseman. E11. He needs a 7 through an 11 to make the play. Otherwise, it's going to be an error. It's an error. It's a 3, so it's a 1-base error. So starting off the top of the 8th, it's going to be an error on Bob Robertson. That is error number 2 on the Pirates. Can't really blame Luke Walker on that one. He kind of did his job, but the error has been made, and Bumbry obviously is a good base stealer. He's a B base stealer. Not that great, but he's decent. But Sanguillen has a -2 arm, and what they may do is try to move the runner some other way, but they're not going to do it against Luke Walker. The Pirates are bringing in Dave Gisti. They're behind. This is the potentially last inning they're going to pitch, so they got to snuff out what they can snuff out. So Dave Gisti is coming on. So Luke Walker just faced the 1 batter and reached on an error. So now we're going to go to Gisti against Dan Ford. Dan Ford, the batter. It's a 3-11 against a righty. 3-11's a line out to second base. So he lines out to Dave Cash for out number 1. And that'll bring up Cal Ripken. And Tippy Martinez is set to come in for the Orioles to pitch the 9th. Try to shut things down. Here's Ripken. It's a 1-5. 1-5 is a home run. So Cal Ripken takes Dave Giusti deep. It's a 2-run shot. Third home run of the game for the Orioles. And they now have some breathing room. The unearned run comes in off of Walker. And right now it is a 5-2 Orioles lead. So now here's Eddie Murray. Murray, the batter. It's a 1-8. 1-8 against a righty is a strikeout. So Giusti gets the strikeout there for out number 2. And that'll bring up John Lowenstein. It's a 4-8 against Giusti is a base hit. So John Lowenstein with a 2-out single. And now that'll bring up Ken Singleton, who started all this barrage with a home run of his own last inning. That was off of Doc Ellis. Here he's facing Giusti. It's a 3-10. 3-10 is a walk, so a single and a walk. And Giusti is not doing too well right now, the Pirate closer. It is now runners at first and second with 2 outs for third baseman Todd Cruz, who also homered his last time up. So they could really blow this thing open right here. It's a 2-6. 2-6, he's going to score another run because we either got a double or a single, and the single is a star-star, so we're guaranteed to get another run here. The roll is a 16, which is a single, but it's a single star-star. And yet another unearned run comes in, and Cruz will push Singleton over to third. Score is now 6-2. And Rich Dower is in, and the save situation has been taken away from Tippy Martinez, but he doesn't care. Here's Rich Dower. It's a 5-10. 5-10 is a ground ball to shortstop X. Jackie Hernandez is a number 3 shortstop, and it's a 15. So 15, shortstop 15. Shortstop 15, number 3, is a ground ball B to end the inning, mercifully. But the inning is over, and the Orioles add 3 more. Yes, absolutely. 1, 2, 3 more to make it a 6-2 ball game as we go to the 9th. Okay, we're ready to start at the top of the 9th, and as you can imagine, the Pirates are a little bit stunned after the Orioles put up a 3 spot in the 7th and a 3 spot in the 8th to take a commanding 6-2 lead. A new pitcher coming in for the Orioles will be Tippy Martinez. He'll come in to try to finish it. It's not a save situation, but he didn't pitch in the first game they played, so they would like to get him an inning of work. For Sammy Stewart, he pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, nothing else. And now we're ready to start the top of the 9th. And a defensive replacement for the Orioles, as John Shelby is taking over in center field for Al Bumry. As you can see, Bumry was a 4-rated center fielder. Shelby is a 2-rated center fielder, so much better. And his arm rating is a -1 versus a +2 for Bumry. His E rating is a little bit higher, but they'll take the chance with that extended range. And Tippy Martinez is in the ball game. His 1983 record was 9-3 with 2.35 ERA. And he is ready to go. And as we said, John Shelby is the new center fielder. And Jose Pagan will lead things off here in the top of the 9th. Jose Pagan, he's 0 for 3. Fly to right, fly to left, and pop to second. As the Pirates try to make a comeback here, in all improbable as it is, here in the top of the 9th, trailing 6-2. And the pitch, it's a 4-10, so that's off Tippy Martinez against a right-hander. That's a fly ball to center field X, and just like that, on demand, we get a check against the new center fielder John Shelby, who is a 2 versus the 4 from Al Bumry. So we'll see if Joe Altobelli is going to look like a genius here or not. So it's a 2-rated center fielder for Shelby. Here is the roll. It's a 13. That may go to his error rating, so it may actually count against him. We'll see. Actually, in center field, the error check only goes up to 12, so 13 will be in the range here. And it's a fly ball B. Now, had Al Bumry stayed in the game as a 4-rated center fielder, that would have been a single. So In that case, Joe Altobelli made the smart move, bringing in Shelby for a better defense, and it paid off right away with the fly ball to center field. Now, due up for the Pirates now is number 9 hitter Jackie Hernandez, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, but he will be called back. They need a better offensive output than that, and they're going to go for about the only right-hander they have left on the bench, and that's Rennie Stennett. So Rennie Stennett is going to pinch hit for Jackie Hernandez against the lefty Martinez. So here we go, Rennie Stennett. It's a 3-8, so we are off Stennett's card. But a 3-8 is going to be a fly ball to center field. So again, Shelby makes the play. This time no error check or no range check. It's simply a standard fly to center. So 2 away, last chance for the Pirates. It'll be top of the order and Dave Cash. And Cash is 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. So we'll see if he can do anything against Tippy Martinez, or at least not fly out to center if nothing else. It's a 1-6. So against the lefty, Dave Cash is a single. So Dave Cash keeps the ball game alive for one more batter as he singles. He's a B base stealer, but down 6-2. They're not going to steal, obviously. His run doesn't mean that much by itself. So here's Gene Clines, and Gene Clines is 2 for 4 with an RBI. So here's the pitch to Clines. It's a 1-9, so we are off Clines. 1-9 is a split chance, so we've got a chance. It's not going to be a run, though, because it's star either way you go. 1-14 is a double, and that would keep the runner at third base. And it is a 19, actually, so it's actually a single. So it's a single star, which means that Cash will motor over to third. So we got runners at the corners, and all of a sudden, Roberto Clemente is up, and if he can do something, that would bring the tying run to the plate. So let's see what you got. Clemente and Stargell coming up against Tippy Martinez. So here is Clemente. It's a 3-6, so we're off Clemente's card. But he grounds it back to the pitcher. He grounds it back to Tippy Martinez. A 3-6 play is a ground out back to the pitcher. And just like that, the ball game is over. And the Orioles are celebrating an advancement into the Elite Eight with a comeback victory over the Pittsburgh Pirates by the score of 6-2. We'll come back and wrap this up and give the totals and look ahead right after this. Okay, as we wrap this up here, look at the line score, and the Orioles had 6 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. They left 5 on base. Pirates 2 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. They left 10 on base, so that was their demise was all the left on base runners. They left 10 batters on. So they left a lot of runs on the base paths where the Orioles cashed in primarily by the long ball. Winning pitcher was Scott McGregor. He went 7 1/3, 7 hits and 2 runs. Losing pitcher, Doc Ellis, he was pitched brilliant through 6, but then faltered in the 7th, and the Pirates were never able to recover after that. As far as a player of the game, I'd have to give it to Ken Singleton, because his 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th was what tied the game and really brought life back to the Orioles. I know Cruz followed with the homer, but I think the 2-run homer by Singleton, although McGregor pitched well, don't get me wrong, but I think the 2-run homer by Singleton was the big blow. Really gave the momentum to the Orioles, and they never looked back after that. Okay, so looking ahead now as we zoom over to our bracket, I've written in the Baltimore Orioles of 83. They have advanced, and they will take on the winner of the 27 Yankees against the 93 Phillies. That game will be played in the basic format. And if New York defeats Philadelphia, then the game between New York and Baltimore will also be played in the basic format. We're going to play that in the basic format as long as the 27 Yankees advance, because that's all I have those cards for. I was not interested in the whole 27 season, so I did not buy the 27 set. I simply bought the generic 27 Yankees from Strat-O-Matic for their basic version, which is only $1.50, so it's very affordable. And that's what I went with. So that's the Orioles now can sit back and wait and see who they're going to face. And with that victory by the Orioles, Mike Boddicker is now back to being eligible to pitch. So they have a decision to make. Do they want to use Boddicker, or do they want to go to maybe a third starter who has not pitched yet, i.e. Mike Flanagan? Let's take a look at Flanagan's numbers here real quick on the 83 season. He was 12-4 with a 3.30 ERA, and Boddicker was 16-8 with 2.77. So on the surface, it looks like Mike Boddicker should be the guy, and I think that's what we're probably going to do. The righty-lefty thing, of course, does not matter because it's in the basic version. So it's probably going to be Mike Boddicker since he is now eligible, because what I've done here in this tournament, I don't know how many days it's taken me to play between each game, but I'm simulating a 2-day layoff between games. So that means that Boddicker playing New York, when that time comes, it will be simulating 4 days rest. So that's why he is eligible to pitch again in the Elite Eight. So that's going to do it from here, and I hope everybody has enjoyed a Sweet 16 game between the Pirates and the Orioles. It is the Orioles continuing their winning ways, and we'll see what they can do the rest of the way. And for the Pirates, they gave it a good run. Doc Ellis pitched well, but just ran into a buzzsaw there in the bottom of the 7th, and that's the way it goes sometimes. So that's it from here until the next game in our Sweet 16 tournament for video purposes. And that next game is going to be, if we take a look here, I believe it is going to be the Oakland A's against the 73 Oakland A's against the 1941 New York Yankees. And Vida Blue is going to be pitching in that game. And for the Yankees, their starter is still undecided, but that's what their lineups are going to be with the designated hitter employed. In this case, Rosar, who is a right-handed hitting catcher, is going to DH in this game. Dickey is going to catch, and Rosar is going to be the DH since they're facing a lefty in blue, because this game is in the 41 season is in left-right split, so they are playing those factors. And for the A's, nothing out of the ordinary here. Just going to line up here. Darren Johnson's the DH. Davalillo will be in center. And kind of interesting the way it worked out, but we've got a green and a blue. So the colorful A's have Dick Green at second and Vida Blue on the mound. So we got a green-blue Oakland A's against the New York Yankees, and that is in the Charlie Finley bracket. So we'll see what happens there for that. And the winner of that game will play the winner of the 77 Yankees against the 90 Reds. So good night from here, and I hope everybody's having a great day, and we'll catch everybody the next time around.